Hi, and welcome to 3D Steve's home. Hi, I'm Steve from 123 3D. Today we are at Formnext 2025. Follow me. So here we are at the Anycubic booth. A couple of interesting new releases from Anycubic. So first off, we have the P1. This is quite a novel new resin printer. So basically we have split vats. So there's two vats. You can print different color resins. You can then switch it out. So as you can see, the build plate split. You can swap it out for a different build plate. So you can use the full vat, particularly made for pro end quality. So really useful for dentistry. Very fine detail for model making. Interesting to see how this one goes, and if we do get one for review, we will make a video and put it out for you guys. Next up, another very interesting new release from Anycubic is the Anycubic Cobra X. Now you've got 4 filament colours, traditional bed slinger machine. They've done a very interesting thing with this machine. So there's no AMS unit. All of your colour change is done in the extruder. So for space saving and simplifying things, the less components you've got to use, the less that can go wrong. So potentially the more reliable it will be made. It's also worth noting the Cobra X is not only a multicolour printer, it's multi-material, and it will actually allow you to print TPU material combined with PLA, giving you practical, usable, flexible prints. So next up, we had the pleasure of being invited to a live Q&A of the release of this. So I had a slight insight to it before we attended the event, but this is the first time I've actually seen it up close and personal. This is the Anycubic S1 Max. So this is the S1's bigger brother, if you like. They have made a few changes on this machine. The Ace Pro is now an Ace Pro 2 unit, so they have changed some of the internal components in the Ace, which I'll go into detail a little bit more later on. But ultimately, you've got a 300mm cube build volume, a heated chamber, recirculating heater. So basically, the heating element recirculates the air back into the chamber, which is exceptionally useful when printing ABS and ASA. So you can maintain a constant, stable chamber temperature. You've got a very nice touchscreen display. And then, you have to come round. We have the side poop chute. So they have moved the poop chute to the side of the machine opposed to the back of the machine. For those who are limited on space and know all about poops and purging and whatever else, you basically collect them in a bucket on the back of the machine, which can be a bit awkward. If you've got a line of printers all stacked together, it makes it very awkward to try and reach around the back to empty that periodically, or if you get any poop stuck in the chute, clean it out. So it's here on the side, very useful. I think this is actually the first manufacturer that have tried out this. So yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on one of these as well, give it a good try. But ultimately, very nice machine, decent price point. The Ace Pro 2 version is a lot more reliable. They've increased the number of motors in the unit from 2 to 4. So overall, Anycubic listen to consumer feedback. They do implement it on their designs, and they are a pleasure to work with. I've used plenty of Anycubic's resin in the past, and it is always produced consistent quality prints from your printer. But yesterday, having a chat with Vivian from Anycubic, she has confirmed that they are going to expand the range. So they're going to basically release a lot of different materials, including the dental and medical grade materials. So yeah, that'll be quite interesting. But yeah, overall, they stock anything and everything that you need for your resin or FDM printer. So here we are at Two Trees booth. For those of you who don't know who Two Trees are, they're another Chinese manufacturer that specialise in consumer grade CNC machines. I say consumer grade, they are exceptionally capable machines. Here is the DTC 6050 machine, which we've demoed this machine, so we will link to that video in the description. But overall, this machine is Very, very capable, very, very heavy duty. This is currently running on the stock spindle. We upgraded ours to the higher powered spindle. But honestly, the machine is absolutely brilliant. The linear rails and ball screws on this machine are very, very beefy. You can't see them because they're all buried away. I have taken off the cover, and like I say, if you check out the link in the description, we will link to that video so you guys can check it out. But yeah, definitely worth checking out that machine if you're in the market for a very decent, capable, consumer grade and CNC machine, but an exceptionally good price point again. Great. Here we are at the new TTC 450 Ultra. Typical same style throughout the range of two Trees CNC machines. This one they have given a silver accent opposed to the black, so the silver accents on the frame. You've got the red aluminium machine parts, the silver control box. Very, very nice unit, very, very capable. And it's also coupled up with a monster mini vac. So dust extraction, no problem. You've got also LED lighting within the dust extraction shoe. There's a standard spindle on this machine, and you've got the manual facility to jog the axes via the nice anodized aluminium wheels. The cutting area for this, I'm assuming, is 450 by 450. A nice spoil board, inserts in there to clamp down your workpieces. Again, very, very nice consumer grade machine, and we will also drop a link to this machine in the description, along with a host of other new release machines like the H40, the H80, all the accessories and everything else. Check them out because they are definitely worth a visit. So here we are now at the Snapmaker booth. This is obviously currently just run through its Kickstarter. For those of you who don't know what this machine is, it is the new Snapmaker U1. Again, there's lots of new tech coming out, and for those of you guys who do print with multicolour and whatever else, you'll be aware of the benefits of tool changes over AMS style units. So this is a 4-head tool changing unit. It's more efficient, less waste, faster printing, overall better for everybody. So it's definitely worth checking this machine out. Build volume is a little bit obscure. So we've got 270 by 270 by 270. So basically it's a 270mm cube print volume. Overall, it's a very nice looking machine. All of the spool holders are side mounted. It then runs through, I think that is a filament sensor. So effectively tell you when the filaments run out, glows into the tool head. You've then got your 4 docking points and your 1 tool head. The machine runs on smooth rails on the X and the Y, and then you've got smooth rails with lead screws that are driven on the Z axis. So overall, nice looking machine, nice build quality. It's compact, but very, very user friendly. And then you can couple this up. Some of you will be familiar with this. We looked at it first off, and it was like, they can't do that. But they actually made the dry boxes in collaboration with Polymaker. So it's a Snapmaker branded Polymaker dry box to complement the machine. So you can print direct from these if you don't want to use the spool holders. They're not auto-retracting, so I don't think they'd need to be because the filament's not going to really retract that far. So it's spring-loaded and will accept all different diameter spools of filament, which is definitely another plus. You haven't got a loose spool just like clattering around on the side of the machine. So yeah, another plus. So here we are at the Prusa booth. It's quite hard to get close to this machine because obviously it's very, very popular, very new technology in the consumer market. It is the Filament 2 liquid filament add-on for the XL, which prints real silicon. Spools are literally normal looking filament spools, and the extruder extrudes effectively a 2-part silicon, which then cures, and you're left with a fully flexible, rubbery, decent print, which has been pretty much unachievable to this point without industrial grade machinery. So again, another really big plus from the guys over at Prusa, who have teamed up with Filament 2 liquid filaments. So definitely worth checking these out, and we will no doubtly be stocking these on the website going forward. So here on the extruder, you basically got your filaments, tubes that are running in, and then you can see these 2 parts here. It's basically where it mixes the parts together and then extrudes via the little plastic nozzle that you can see on the side. So I can assume that the The plastic nozzle will be a consumable part, and you'll basically periodically replace it after you've finished printing with the next one, because ultimately what I would imagine will happen is the silicone will actually cure in that tube, and it's not working off heat, it's working through chemical reaction. So once that's cured in that nozzle will be dead. You'll take it off, replace it, put your new one on, bosh, away you go again. Next up is the Prusa Core 1L. So this is another new release machine from Prusa, launched a couple of weeks ago. We have now got these on stock on the website, so please do check out the link for those in the description. But again, to give you guys who aren't aware of this machine what it's all about, I'll give you a very brief rundown, quick spin around the machine so you can see what it's all about. The first thing that I've noticed straight off the bat is you've got a very increased thicker build plate, nice piece of aluminium there. The specs are claiming that it will heat up to 400 degrees. So again, from the hot end, printing exotic materials and whatever else, this machine is going to be very capable of doing that. To look at it, it isn't a lot bigger than the standard Core 1 through clever engineering and whatever else. I think the actual footprint size is only 10% larger, but you've got double the build volume. So again, everybody knows that space is a premium. If you've got a print farm or limited space in your home workshop or in your bedroom, studio, wherever you're printing, it's an ideal machine. Filament traditionally mounted on the side or in a recess. Then on the opposite side, you've got another recess where you can print off accessories to store your build plates and all of that good stuff. You've got the polycarbonate door, you've got the lid. The lid is actually automated for the vents, so it will know from your slicer what material you've sliced it for, and like you'll know on the Core 1, if it's PLA, it'll ask you to basically make sure the vent's open before you start printing. This is cleverer than that. It will basically open the vent for you if you are printing with PLA, so you're not going to get any heat creep going back to your extruder and then potentially clogging because you're printing with PLA. I've also seen that they've got a Core 1 Plus kit upgrade, which is around £9.95 UK pounds. And again, that allows you to modify your Core 1 to the same sort of spec as the L, so it will include the automatic vent opening and whatever else. So again, we will do reviews on these products. This is waiting for review currently. We will put a video out over the next couple of weeks, so keep your eyes out for that. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you do, so you don't miss any of these hot new features. Here we are, next to this very exquisite limited edition Core 1 oak-clad version. This is a very, very good-looking piece of equipment, guys. If you're wanting something that is aesthetically pleasing for your home environment, bag yourself one of these. I don't know what the price is yet, but it's going to be worth every penny. Take it from me. It's nice, check oak. They have switched a few things around from the standard Core 1, but overall it's a really nice-looking machine. Chris has already put his name down on the waiting list, so he will have to sell a kidney to afford to buy this, but it's fine. He's got another one. Okay, so we are now live at Prusa for the exciting new launch of the IDEX system that Prusa have released in collaboration with Bondtech. Very, very excited to see this. As you can see, they've got it all set up. It was unveiled today, so this is hot off the press. New release, very nice looking machine. I've just had a chat with Blas, he's one of the technical guys over at Prusa, about the compatibility with the Core 1 to the Core 1L or whatever. So typically right at this point in time, it is only compatible with the Core 1, but as soon as I develop the firmware and everything else, it will then be compatible with the Core 1L as well. And he did hint that you will be able to add up to 10 tool heads within the L version. So that is a lot of capability for multicolour printing or multi-material. Again, Prusa just keep knocking out of the park, thinking of the consumer. The price point we've been tipped off is between £600 and £800 depending on what configurations you have, which for me, if you're getting 8 tool heads for 600 quid, that is a steal. I mean, let's face it, it is a very worthy upgrade. So if you already own a Core 1 or you're considering getting a Core 1 and you want multi-material capability, this is the one. Don't look anywhere else, don't waste your time with anything else. Buy this, you will never look back. So here we are at the Elegoo booth. First off, I'm just going to clear up a little bit of confusion over the standard Century Carbon. So obviously, as we're all fully aware, Elegoo promised to release a colour change unit in whatever format for the Century Carbon, and there has been rumours on the rumour mill that they are not doing any more production on it because the date keeps getting pushed back and back and back. But I can confirm that the colour change for the standard Century Carbon is still in development, and Elegoo have promised to deliver. I'm expecting this to be early on next year now. There's no actual fixed date. So in the interim, they have released the V2 version, which has the colour change already built in. Now, I did question the guys on the booth yesterday over what is the format of the colour change for the standard Century going to be or going to look like. They couldn't really give me any firm idea of what it looks like, how they're going to develop it. I'm suspecting it's going to be an AMS style type unit, but we shall see. So here is the Century Carbon 2. Key differences between this and the standard Century Carbon is you have basically your 4 spool holders mounted on the side of the machine. You've then got the AMS style buffer, I will call it, which takes the 4 filaments and basically feeds them in then to the tool head, and then obviously all the colour changes are done in the head opposed to an AMS unit or whatever. So the build volume is identical. We do have an exhaust fan on the back of the machine. We've got the poop chute with a silicone wiper to clean the nozzle, and then obviously on the side of the extruder you've got your filament cutter. So basically the machine will bump onto the side of the machine to cut the filament when it's swapping them out, keeping everything clean and whatever else. And then obviously if you do want to print with ABS or ASA or whatever else, you do have the option to fit the lid. I will try and fit it to see how easy it is. Very easy. Claire has just pointed out, reminding me from yesterday, that the touchscreen UI is also slightly larger than the standard Century Carbon. And again, pretty much on par with anything else currently on the market. All the touchscreen displays are really nice resolution. They're quite reactive to touch. We love the Century Carbon. It is an absolutely great machine for the price. We can't fault it, honestly. It is great. So it'll be really interesting to try out this model. So again, on the Elegoo booth, this is the new Jupiter 2. We have seen snippets of this machine before, but again, we haven't got to see it up close and personal. So we popped by yesterday, we had a look at it, and we're back today to give you guys a better look at the machine. Very nice layout. So for people that print with resin, you'll know that removing the standard lid is a pain, especially if you've got any resin on your hands or you're messing around with chemicals and whatever else. It's nice to have actual doors that open. So here, as you can see, you open the doors, you've got plenty of room to get inside the machine. The build plate is on a cam, and then we've got a very nice laser etched build plate in the traditional Elegoo style. Quite substantial, it's not flimsy by any means. And I can see there we've got some little contacts, so I'm assuming the printer will actually recognise when the build plate's been removed or if it isn't fitted properly, and it should warn you on the UI, I would imagine. It appears that the VAT is still secured with knobs, which wouldn't really be a massive problem on this machine because it's a huge VAT. You're going to get quite a bit of resin in there, and obviously it's got autofill and whatever else as well, so it's going to constantly top up. Back of the machine, I can see we've got a camera, looks to be an LED light, nice metal hinges on the doors. It feels very solid. It's, you know, a decent bit of kit. So it is like a massive build volume. We've got 302.4 millimeters by 161.98 millimeters. Very, very precise measurements here by Elegoo, by 300 millimeters. So it is a huge machine. So for those of you who print a lot of large, I don't know, quarter scale, 1/6 scale figurines and whatever else, you'll be able to put everything in this printer and print it pretty much in one go. So it's going to save you a lot of time or the need for running multiple printers. Then we shall move on to their wash unit. So this is the Mercury wash unit. Again, this thing is huge. I asked one of the reps yesterday if we could actually wash our clothes in it because it's like massive. So to give you the lowdown on this, basically you You put your first lot of IPA into this bucket, you run the cycle with your prints in the actual washer. It will then draw in and wash your parts from this container. Once that's finished, it will then empty this container back out into here. So that's your pre-wash, your dirty wash done. And then it will do another wash with a fresh IPA or water, whatever medium you're using, depending on the resin that you're actually using, and give it a second wash to make sure that everything is super clean. It doesn't end there. Then the machine basically, once it's emptied and drained everything away, it will then blow air across your printed part so it dries it prior to curing it. Again, really, really nice. So it is a big unit, but if you need to wash big parts from your machine, this is the ideal companion. So now we are at Heygears booth. For those of you who don't know who Heygears are, they are a very, very high-end resin SLA printer manufacturer. We do stock some of their products on the website, and obviously these are the new release products. So this is the Reflex 2. These machines are absolutely outstanding. It is a proprietary system, so you do require to use Heygears resin with the print on their slicing software. But as a benefit to that, you will get fully automated supported models through AI generated within the slicer. Exposure settings are dialed in like you wouldn't believe. So you literally, if you're looking for a plug and play style resin printer, these are definitely worth a consideration. You literally load your file into the slicer, it'll automatically generate support suitable for the model. It will then slice it with the right exposure time, send it to the print, and you will guarantee that you will get a successful print out of it at the end. They're really, really nice, well made, and loads of different material options available. So you've got like your standard resins, flexible resins, crystal clear resins. I mean, some of the models is like a skeleton inside a clear T-Rex. Is pretty outstanding, really. So definitely higher price point machine, but you are really getting what you pay for here. Is like quality and consistency, which is key to anybody printing with resin. Whether it be small batch production, hobbyists, jewellery makers, dentists, no matter what, these guys have it covered. Okay, so here we are now at Creality's booth, and we just stopped by to see Creality's new offering, which is the Ender 3 V4 combo. So this is, again, traditional bed slinger machine. The X-axis runs on a linear rail, and you've got two lead screw driven axes on the Z-axis, and the bed also runs on, I think there's a linear rail tucked under the plastic cover. A very small touchscreen UI. Creality have designed this machine with personalisation in mind, so you can download files and print all these add-on accessories to basically pimp your printer. For those who've got young kids or whatever at home, they'll find this quite fun and interesting to be able to customise and add parts to the machine. Works again with the CFS unit, so you've got full capability of multicolour printing. This is currently on pre-order as far as I'm aware. We have got a demo version, so once we have done a full review of it, obviously we will post that on the channel as well. So if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do, and then you won't miss out on hot reviews like this. Here we are again at the big TreeTech booth. So obviously we deal and stock a lot of big TreeTech products, from build plates right the way through to main boards and all the other little bits and pieces in between. There's some quite unique points that they've released. The edible ink printing machine, or tool head for the machine, which is quite novel. We've got the cryo plates. We also have, walk around here, an actual release version completed of the Vivid colour change unit. So as far as I'm aware, that is a USB plug and play colour changing unit. We did see a prototype version last year when we attended, but now it's up and running, it's finished, finalised. So we will be stocking those as well on the website. Again, lots and lots of exciting developments this year, guys. And if we haven't covered anything in the video that you have any questions about, please drop it in the comments box below, and we'll do our best to answer you as quickly as we possibly can. There is far too much to cover in a video, basically, at the exhibition. But if you want any information or any insight to what we've seen, witnessed, or whatever else, yeah, drop it in the comments box. And again, please like, subscribe, and share. Statistics. Thank you for joining us at Formnext 2025. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And like I said earlier on, if you've got any questions about anything that we haven't covered in the video regarding something that may have been of interest to you at the exhibition, please do drop it in the comments box below. And if we have the answers to the question, we will definitely get back to you as quickly as we can. But I hope you've enjoyed it, found it informative, useful, and we will see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.
As always, we aim to have the most competitive 3D printer prices on the market. If you see any of our printers being sold by a mainstream retailer for less, please drop us an email using the link in the description and we'll do our very best to beat their price. Also, if you're watching from outside the UK, check the description for links to our European 123 3D sister stores.